It's above my pay grade.
No, inflation's getting out of hand when you go to your local mall and you see ads for Klarna plastered all over the place. It's really bad knowing that people have to finance just to make a fucking $60 shoe purchase at Foot Locker.
At this point, I think we might be living at our in-laws' house until, we get old and gray, because the housing market is absolutely ridiculous. It's so sad because back in the day, you're able to just go to school, get a good job, get married, be able to buy a house, start a family, and possibly be able to stay part-time at home even with the children to help raise them. Now it's like, no, you get married, where are you living? Maybe we're going to live in a shoebox. Maybe we're going to be homeless living on the street, because why is a one-bedroom, one-bath like $800,000? Like, I'm just trying to wrap my head around how things are going right now, because it's like, it's pretty hopeless for this generation, for us that are trying to start our lives and get a place. It's like, rent is absolutely insane. You can't save any money to be able to buy a place. They don't want us to own anything, and they literally want to like destroy your dreams of starting a life. It's just so embarrassing.
Y'all really need to check in on those middle classers, because I'm telling you, I just went to the grocery store. I bought about 5 days worth of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, some fresh produce, maybe a bag of chips and a gallon of juice. And let me tell you, $400. What? Half my check gone. We make too much to get any EBT with any kind of government assistance, anything. I'm telling you, it's a hard life out here, especially for those middle class people. So y'all need to check in, because we out here hurting, okay? Hi, can I help you?
Big Mac, fillet of fish, large fry. Chicken McNugget.
Happy meal?
Happy meal?
Happy meal? Oh, okay. Do you want orange soda? Orange soda.
Okay, you want sauce for the nuggets?
Ketchup.
Ketchup? Okay.
And I'll have a hamburger, small fry, and a Diet Coke.
What size Diet Coke will that be? Anything for dessert? Okay, for here? That comes to $10.84, please. Oh, I already got it. I need a small orange and a small diet, please. I got the half meal again. Thanks, Jason. $10.84 out of $11.
I don't need to budget. Prices either need to go down or my pay needs to go up. I think I'm someone who's fairly reasonable with my spending. I pay my bills. I take care of my needs first and foremost. I take care of my wants within a reasonable parameter. Like, I don't spend exorbitant amounts of money to the point where I need to track how much I'm spending because money's just flying out of my ears. Things just cost too much. So again,
So I had a conversation with my boomer dad and boomer uncles about why people didn't want to work anymore, and I said something that I think is true and I want to share it with you. First of all, let me share with you some of their condescending thoughts. One of the points my boomer relatives said is, why do people expect work to be good? It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be comfortable. That's why you call it work. We didn't expect it to be comfortable. We labored in uncomfortable situations and we did it in order to make a living. We didn't expect luxuries. You guys expect luxuries. And let's just derail the conversation twice here for a second. First of all, who is telling them that we want luxury? And that's something that for some reason we're unwilling to put up with uncomfortable situations. All of us worked through college. All of us. I don't know a single person who didn't have a job, who didn't work almost full time all the way through college, even though they were going to college full time. I did that. Almost everybody else I know did that. Secondly, most of us are just asking for healthcare and affordable housing. I don't understand where the concept of luxury is coming from. A place to sleep and have some money to buy food and then maybe go out every once in a while is most of what people are asking for. And not to be terrified of future and retirement and dying poor and lonely. So straight out of the gate, I don't know who is feeding them this bullshit narrative. Now, secondly, a little over a 20-year period of time, the dollar lost almost half of its value. And in 2000, most boomers were in their 40s when that began to happen. Since 1970, there's been a 500% increase or more in the consumer price index. A 1,500% increase in tuition, at least amongst higher education places like Harvard, and only a 10% increase in wages. In addition, baby boomers will not retire and get out of the way so that younger people can have careers, with 50% nearly of millennials and Gen Z, and 1/3 of Gen Xers saying that they've blocked their career progression. So let's return to the main criticism that these boomers had of millennials and Gen Z, that we didn't want to work, we didn't like working, we thought it was too uncomfortable and we didn't want to do it anymore. It's not that we don't want to. It's that the bargain used to be that for 2,000 hours of work a year-ish, you could afford a life. And that's just not true anymore. You can work as hard as you want, you're not going to get ahead. So work has always been bullshit. We've just realized that it's no longer worth doing because you don't get anything for it anymore.
I was just at my local grocery store, and the woman ahead of me was buying a significant amount of groceries, and the cashier even said, wow, what are you making? And she said, oh, this is just dinner for my family. This is typical. And I thought, wow, like, you must have a big family. It must be, I'm thinking in my head, this must be so hard for you to feed a large family. Right now, it's typically just my daughter and I, and I have a hard time keeping up with the cost of food. And then she went to pay, and her card declined. And I turned my back because I've had that happen to me, and it's mortifying. So I turned my back and kind of pretended I was looking at the candy, and I could feel her embarrassment and her shame. And the cashier was like, don't worry about it. She's like, oh, I'm going to go talk to my husband. And I just felt so bad for that woman, because even specifically at a grocery store, it's worse because you're trying to feed your family and your card declines. It's just, it's it's a moment you'll never forget. I've had it happen. It's pretty mortifying. I felt so bad for her, and I right now I'm home, and I still feel bad. And her bill was I don't know, it was $98. And I wish I had offered to pay for it, but things are tight for me too. So I thought about it for a second, and I was like, no, you just paid for this today, and you have to pay for this tomorrow. And I'm scared to give someone $100, which is really sad. I wish so much now that I'm home, I wish I had given her that $100 and just said, I'll pay for it. But I was scared for myself and my own budget. It's just so awful right now. It's so awful. And I feel sick. I feel sick to my stomach.
I don't need to budget. Prices either need to go down or my pay needs to go up.
Literally everything he just said was facts. Because at this point, I think we past surviving. We fed, everybody's fed up, bro. Everybody is fed up. They tell you to go to college, you go to college. You get debt, you come out of college, you can't even find a job because you don't got experience. Then they talking about internships without pay. When I found out, I was like, what? I'm giving you time and you're not paying me? No. People are really out here contemplating if they should pay the bills or they should pay the medicine. It's absolutely absurd that we're living in times where at this point you got to pay to die. God forbid you break your arm or you go get a checkup at the ER. Then the old heads are absolutely clueless because they're telling you, oh, you're just lazy. This generation is just lazy. Go out and get a job. The whole American dream. Stop. Because if the next old person that comes to me and tells me that, oh, it's because I'm lazy, I'm not trying hard enough, or you see how dumb you sound. Now you got to get slapped because we're not living in the same time. So I'm gonna need you to wake up.
So I just left Walmart and I paid $20 for a bag of wings, okay? And a bottle of wing sauce. I'm gonna make wings today, and I paid $20 damn for Walmart brand and and wing sauce. I'm literally infuriated at this shit, you guys. Like, I can't keep living like this, and I'm sure a lot of other people can't keep living like this.
If the last 40 years repeats itself, in 2063, we'll see these prices. A new car will cost about $136,000. The average rent will be about $9,000 a month. The gas price will be about $13 a gallon. An average home will cost about $1.9 million. And the average salary will be about $100,000 a year. Now look, we can laugh about these numbers all we want because they are pretty comical. But unfortunately, we live in a clown world. And this might just happen because inflation, like all other things, unfortunately compounds. Remember back in 2008 when the world was melting and Ben Bernanke came out with these huge stimulus packages, people criticized him because they thought, oh my God, $500 billion, that's wild. $700 billion, that's insane. And then whenever the lockdowns occurred in 2020 and we printed trillions upon trillions of dollars, they said the same exact thing. They're like, oh my God, that's insane. That's so much money. Well, the next time something happens and they pivot and they print money, how much do you think it's going to be? It's not going to be single digit trillion. It's going to be tens of trillions of dollars. AOC already said she wants to implement a $90 trillion spending initiative on climate. That should give you an idea of how much we are going to inflate this currency away over the course of time. Not only that, but our world is just getting harder. Gas prices are going to go up because, simply put, there's not going to be enough gas. Saudi Arabia is already reducing the amount of gas it's selling. Russia has cut off exports entirely. In the US, well, we just don't want to frack for shit here, which is a shame because we really could and our gas would be a lot cheaper. And unfortunately, gas goes into every one of these other things. It goes into how much your car costs. It goes into how much the rent is because you need gas for a lot of things that build a fucking house, or at least go in the house. So you see where this is going. If you don't start making and investing money now, you're never gonna get rich. And I'm saying this in a position of absolute fear. I am fearful every day that I'm not gonna make enough because quite frankly, we don't know how much it's gonna take. It might take an ungodly number that none of us are gonna be able to reach. And if that's the case, so be it. But we gotta try because there's no nobility in throwing in the towel. And I am not trying to be caught in this slavery mess.
Here are some more things I'm just not spending money on in 2023 because of inflation. First up, a new iPhone. I have had an iPhone for a decade and I do the upgrade every 2 years, get the new phone. And this year I'm due for an upgrade and I am not doing it. First off, this phone is like no different. And also I have one that works and so I just don't need to spend the money. Second, Target trips. Remember when you were just bored or you just needed to get out of the house and so you were like, I'll just go to Target. And then you check out with spending $50 or more on things that you weren't going to buy anyway. I do not go inside Target anymore. I shop at Target, but it's all through Drive Up. Shopping that way allows me to just go and purchase things that I already know that I need rather than just browsing aisles and buying things that I truly don't need. Next up, high-end clothing. Last year, I got a few pieces from Lululemon. They're great. This year, shop on the Amazon dupes. Don't have the budget for that. And finally, vacation. Now, my husband and I did take a vacation earlier this year that we planned since like February, and we got it for a really good deal because we did it through like a timeshare promo kind of thing. But other than that, we do not have any vacations planned. Normally, I like to have like something in the works to look forward to, but not right now. We don't need that. And it's not even that we can't afford these things, but it's just that it's become so expensive that I don't see the value in it, and so we'd rather spend our money elsewhere. Is there anything that you are no longer spending money on in 2023 because of inflation? Let me know.
Things I've given up since the cost of living has become outrageous. Part 1 of infinity. I've seen these videos all over the place and I absolutely love them. It sucks, it's terrible, but it helps me to not feel so alone in the world, to know that I'm not the only one that has given up just simple, basic things that I used to do all the time, but can't afford to do it anymore. So here's 3 things. I'll give you 3. I've got way, way, way more than that. So if you'd like a part 2, part 3, part 87, I can probably get up to that number. Comment below. Let me know if you want a second or third or 47th part of this. The first thing I've given up, because the cost of living in 2023 is absolutely insane, is unnecessary expensive food purchases. Like olive oil. I don't buy olive oil anymore. It's fucking expensive. We just go with the off-brand vegetable oil or whatever's on sale. I used to buy olive oil all the time because it's better for you, and I was, trying to be all healthy and stuff, and I could afford to do that back then. Can't do that anymore now. Another thing that I don't buy is bread. I don't buy bread anymore. I learned how to make it. It's a lot easier than what you think. If you want a recipe, let me know. And it's way more delicious, and it's way cheaper, and it's kind of fun. I mean, you know, you get to knead it and, you know, punch it and take some aggression out, and it tastes a lot better. And things like mixes, like you know, like pancake mixes, cornbread mixes, don't buy any of that shit anymore. It's convenient, yeah, it's nice, but you can make that shit for a lot cheaper, and it tastes. Thing number 2 that I've had to give up because the cost of living is so insane is just random presents. Like, just, I would, back in the day, back when, you know, shit didn't suck so much, I would just, you know, take my kids out on a Saturday or something when they were out of school and be like, hey guys, you want to go, you've been really good this week, you want to go and get a toy, or do you want to go out for ice cream or something like that? Or if I happen to be out shopping for myself, which I can't do that anymore either, but if I happen to be out, like, you know, going to get myself a little something or other, and I saw something I thought my husband would like, I would buy it. Or I'd be bored sitting here at night and, you know, just scrolling around on my phone, and I'd be like, I want to get on Amazon and buy myself a piece of jewelry or a, you know, a new outfit, something. I don't do that anymore. I don't, like, even go and, like, get my kids, like, little coloring books or anything like that anymore. It's just, I just don't. It's, the cost of living is too much. Damn, you're loud. All right. Thing number 3 that I've had to give up because the cost of living is so high is getting my hair done. Like, I know you see I'm struggling here. Y'all, my hair used to be white. Like, I got it, like, just bleached to the max all the time. I've been having my hair highlighted, heavily highlighted, since I was 12 years old. I'm 36 now. That's a good portion of my life. But I haven't had my hair done in like 2 years, and this is its natural color now. And at this point, it's like, well, you're finally at your natural color after I don't know how many years. You might as well just leave it alone and let it rest for a little bit. But also, if that wasn't the case, like, leave it alone, let it rest for a little bit. Even if I wanted to get it done, I can't afford it. It cost me over $100 every time I used to do my hair, and I just can't justify spending that anymore. Like I said, I got a ton more of these. There's so many more. I have a list. It's a very long one. I've got way more. If you want a part 2 on here, comment down there and let me know, and stitch this video and let me know what you have given up, because the cost of living is so insane here lately. And I mean, it sucks, but it does, like, seeing these videos makes me feel like I'm not alone in the world. So, you know, there's a small, you know, little bit of happiness in it, where if you know that putting your struggles out there and making sure that somebody else knows that they're not alone, go ahead and stitch this and make your own what I've given up videos. It helps a little. I mean, nobody likes to feel alone. So I've got more of them. If you'd like to see them, comment down below, let me know. See you on the next one.